is Megan Bristow, and I'm with the Humane Society of the United States. And you'll be hearing today from Christine Sequenzia.
Thanks, Megan. As she said, I'm Christine Sequenzia, Federal Policy Advisor for Animal Welfare Institute. Horse slaughter. We're going to discuss the horse slaughter background, current legislative action, as well as rescue efforts. We're going to talk about how you guys can get involved in that process. The issue of horse slaughter is pretty simple. Horse slaughter just means a horse that is going over our country's borders for purposes of human consumption. Horses are actually being slaughtered for food. Still, American horses, out of 100,000 horses a year, are being sent over our borders to Mexico and Canada and being slaughtered for human consumption. The problem is, those horses do not actually come back to the United States, sent to France and Belgium, where people eat them as a delicacy. So horses actually were slaughtered in this country until 2007, but let me give you a little bit of background on the horse slaughter issue. I need to preface that these are graphic videos and graphic images of what the horse slaughter process, what actually happens to horses and how they're transported. If anybody would like to leave the room during this time, feel free to walk out now.
America has a dirty little secret.
We need your help in exposing and stopping. Last year, over 100,000 American horses were slaughtered in the U.S. at 3 foreign-owned horse slaughter plants. Many are still transported on inhumane double-decker trailers, which are designed for short-necked species. Once inside the kill box, untrained and callous workers may often hit the horses multiple times with a captive bolt gun in an attempt to render the horse unconscious. So his throat can be slit. Remember, horse slaughter is not humane euthanasia.
Basically, that's why we're all here. That's why we get involved in legislative efforts, and that's why you guys are here. And so we're hoping that through education and through this conference and these different speeches, we can stop cruel acts of actual selfish greed. So let me talk a little bit about what has been done in the past. So the reason we don't slaughter horses in this country currently revolve around 2 different states taking action. However, that didn't fix the problem, because now horses are just being shipped over our country border into Canada and to Mexico, where now they have to endure a more cruel trip because they're having to go further distances. Federal legislative action. June 8, 2005, we did an amendment to the House Agriculture Appropriations Bill, which basically was a defund measure. Usually appropriations bills fund different programs. This one actually defunded a program. So that is basically our stopgap measure until we get a federal ban passed. The USDA implements fee-for-service inspection of horse slaughter facilities as of March of 2006. Repeal and try to do fee-for-service, which means that states could pay inspectors to basically keep the plant open. But right now, all you need to know is that we're not slaughtering horses, but horses are still going over the border, and so that's what we need to fix. So what are we doing right now to stop this? I've talked a little bit about this already. The most important is the Prevention of Equine Cruelty Act and an all-out ban of horse slaughter. We are tackling this several different ways. It's never lost a vote on the House floor or in the Senate. The problem is getting both the House and the Senate to vote in the same Congress to then collaborate one bill and then send it to the President. If it's ever going to happen, it's going to happen now. We talked a little about before the agriculture appropriations language. This is the language that defunds USDA inspection of horse slaughter plants. This is actually an excerpt from the President's budget that was sent to the Congress. He included the specific measure, so we're really excited to see that. So this language is in the House Agriculture Appropriations Bill. It's not in the Senate Appropriations Bill, but it's not a problem because usually they take on each other's language in conference. And like you saw in the video, double-decker trailer are a whole issue in and of themselves because they're actually built for shorter neck species, for cattle, for sheep, for animals who travel well in herds. Research and found that the highest level of a double-decker trailer is 5 feet 6 inches. I realized that the AVMA was voting against animal welfare measures, and it really shocked me, right? So it's unfortunate, but The AVMA has come out in support of the Horse Transportation Safety Act, which would ban double-decker trailers. So at least they're doing something. The second picture is of a couple of interns and myself at the New Holland Livestock Auction, which takes place every Monday, and it's only about 3 hours from here in Pennsylvania. Every Monday they send horses to auction, which eventually end up in slaughter. Let me tell you how difficult it was to stand on a railing and watch a killer buyer buy a horse that you know is healthy, that is sound, that can be rehomed for $400? 400 bucks. What we're holding is a box with a horse dewormer in it. Another way that we try to ban horse slaughter is through means of toxic horse meat. Right on the package it says, warning, not for use in horses intended for food. The active ingredient in this horse dewormer, as well as every other horse dewormer, has been banned by the FDA for human consumption. Every horse that is going for slaughter out of the United States has in their system a drug that is toxic to humans when ingested. What are we doing in the meantime? So the Humane Society and Animal Welfare Institute formed Homes for Horses Coalition. Homes for Horses Coalition is a band of rescues. Several people have good intentions, right, and want to take horses immediately out of imminent danger. The problem, though, is different rescues don't have the structure that they need or the business sense to keep these businesses running. And so Homes for Horses Coalition gets that community working so that they can trade ideas and make their businesses more sound and talk about grants and funding and all that. And I think this past conference was really important because it focused a lot on technology and how things like Facebook can help find buyers for horses, or how Twitter can help find buyers for horses. Check Homes for Horses Coalition out. It is www.homesforhorses.org. That's how you can get involved. I know the last video was kind of disturbing, this was kind of funny. So I don't know if you guys have seen the movie called Thank You for Smoking, a movie that portrays realistically what really goes on in Congress. So the movie is about a guy who is a tobacco industry lobbyist and how he gets things done.
I don't have an MD or law degree. I have a bachelor's in kicking butt and taking names. I get paid to talk.
What do you talk about?
I speak on behalf of cigarettes.
My mommy says cigarettes kill.
Now, is your mommy a doctor?
No.
Well, she doesn't exactly sound like a credible expert now, does she? Yeah. We call ourselves the Mod Squad. MOD, Merchants of Death. We're lobbyists for the tobacco, alcohol, and firearms industries. How many alcohol-related deaths a year?
Well, does that
100,000? That's what, 270 a day? A tragedy. I front an organization that kills 1,200 people a day. The #1 killer in America is cholesterol, and here comes Senator Finister, who's clogging the nation's arteries with Vermont cheddar cheese.
The great state of Vermont will not apologize for its cheese.
What happens when you're wrong?
See, Joey, that's the beauty of argument. Because if you argue correctly, you're never wrong.
I think that's what really goes on. So we need you guys to get involved. Agriculture interests, just like the tobacco lobbyists, have tons of money now, and they fund congressional campaigns, and they try to overrule what the good work is, what the truth is. And we can't match up to the campaign contributions that are being given out by the other side. They say, listen, if we hear from our constituents about this, then the congresswoman or congressman will co-sponsor a bill. And I hear that more than I don't hear that. And I used to be jaded about the process, that you couldn't write a letter to your congressman, or you couldn't call them and it actually make a difference. But it actually does make a difference. So we need you guys to stay active. We need you guys to stay involved. Also, AWI has a great little tool called the Compassion Index. So you just go to compassionindex.org, and then the text is already there. You just put in your name and zip code and send it off, and that sends an email directly to their staffer. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions afterwards, let me know.